안녕하세요. 저는 미국에서 온 션입니다. So today I'm talking with a friend of mine who's been living in Japan for 3 years. We're going to discuss the different habits we've developed while living in Asia, with particular emphasis on Korea versus Japan. I think this is a really interesting conversation and you're definitely going to want to watch to the end. Let's go. So Bentley, where are you from?
So I'm half French, half American, born in France, raised in the States, and ended up in Japan somehow.
So how long have you been in Japan?
So right now I'm currently not in Japan. I'm on a Japan hiatus for what's happening in the world right now, but I've been in Japan for about 3 years.
So do you want to share one thing now, a habit that you've developed?
Like back where I'm from, whenever I would get a compliment, I'll be really flattered. I would start to blush, like, oh really, thank you. It's really nice to people when they compliment you, it makes you feel nice. But here in Japan, when I first got there, one of the things I really enjoyed about it was that a lot of people would just say, kakkoi desu ne, which means, for people who do not know, it means very cute or hot, depending on how you read the translation. The first few months in Japan were great. You could be walking on the street, you could be on the train, you could be anywhere. However, one thing about their compliments is there's one compliment that they don't know is a compliment. Because this is not a compliment at all. They say something to a lot of foreigners. When I'm walking down the street, there's a lot of Japanese people who say, chisekao, which means very small face.
And they say the same exact thing in Korea. It's the same exact, yeah. Yeah, I've definitely come to realize that this is actually a compliment. And so when my Korean friends or someone here says it to me, I know that they're being nice. So at first it was shocking, but now I realize they are trying to be nice. But it definitely can't really say that same thing in France or US, right? Yeah.
You don't know what might happen afterwards. It's not really a compliment to some people.
That's really interesting that exists in both countries. Wow. So for me, a habit that I've developed, and even when I go to the United States, I still do this. Whenever I'm in a restaurant, I get really impatient and I just say, excuse me, hello, over here, I'm ready to order. But living in France and living in the United States, it's like you gotta catch the waiter's eye. But it's so much more comfortable for me to either press a button or just say, hey, I'm ready. That's definitely a habit I've developed while living in Korea. I'm curious what that's like in Japan. Is that similar?
So in Japan, we have normal waiters like every country does, but we also have a button system. You show up to the restaurant, they guide you to your table, and you go for the menu, blah, blah, blah. And once you're ready and you know what you want, boom, just slap that button. Or you got another choice. So you arrive in the restaurant and there's a electronic book that you look into. That's the menu, the drinks and all that. You just press what you want, you press that order button, and you never have to do any human contact except for delivery.
Just completely remove the human aspect out of going to a restaurant, which actually a lot of the time I prefer. I don't know about you. Do you have one that you want to share?
In France, you have to fight to get in or off public transport. However, with Japan, people will wait for everyone to get off who needs to get off. Then everyone who needs to get in will get in. There's no fighting, there's no people pushing. It's a really great system, so I'm a lot more conscious of the people around me when I'm getting onto public transport.
It's actually a little bit different in Korea. In Korea, it's more just like when you're in the subway, everybody knows that you're gonna bump into people and it's gonna happen. So on the other way, I actually have developed this habit. I've developed a habit where when I bump into someone, usually on public transportation, I don't say sorry, I don't say anything, because it's that's gonna happen, I guess that's kind of the more Korean way of thinking, and I kind of like that because I hate saying sorry when obviously I didn't mean to do it on purpose. But I can understand the politeness and the orderly way of being in Japan, right? It's better to be too polite than not polite enough, right?
My last one is I always have coins on me. A large amount of coins in my wallet that's saved up. Because I'm not sure if many people know this, but Japan is a cash-based country.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I know that.
Yeah.
I've been there twice, and I definitely can attest to that. That is so true.
Even when I go outside, I have one pocket designated for 1 yen coins, because you always end up getting them, but you always need to spend them. Because if you don't, you're going to end up breaking your bigger coins or your bigger bills, which you really don't want to at the end of the day.
In Korea, everything is buyable by card, or we have a system called T-money. It's like a transportation card, and you can just swipe it on transportation or taxis or other things too.
Actually?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But like if you're wanting to buy some street food or some real mom and pop, like old grandmother working in the street, she ain't taking no cards. I'll just say that. That's the one place. But I hear that Japan like loves the cash.
Oh, they love it.
Kind of similar to restaurants, like tipping. Like I've gotten into the habit of not tipping anybody. But in the US, you tip a delivery person, you tip a waiter, you tip your taxi, you tip everyone. And so the Uber drivers want to talk to you so that they feel like, you know, they make a connection and then you tip them more.
Yeah.
And I just have developed the habit. I don't even think about tipping when I buy something, you know? And I got to be honest, I really like that. I like not worrying about that. What do you think about that?
It's a great system. You never have to worry about a tip. You sit down, you do what you have to do, and it's a very easy experience. So you never have to have any worries afterwards or in between the process, which is great. But I feel like they should still allow tips to be accepted for whatever reason.
What do you think the benefits of tipping are?
Knowing that a lot of people who work in these type of industries, restaurants, bars, so on and so on, I know that the wages in Japan, they're about $10 an hour. So a little tip would be nice.
So for everyone who's curious, Bentley, you're doing a few jobs in Japan now, or are you mostly just doing modeling?
So I do modeling. You can see all my work right here at my Instagram, which Mr. Sean will put up sooner or later.
Yes.
I also do a little bit of bartending here and there, and I also work in club promotion, PR.
Right on. Oh, that's it. And I just want to say thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good, man. Take it easy.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
지금까지 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 저는 션이었습니다. 다음에 또 봐요. 바이.